think in the last 5 or 6 years is one of the most underrated teams on Long Island is Comac. Bill DeSario, who was the head coach at Babylon 20 years, had a phenomenal record, took 10 years off, and now has been the coach of Comac for 5 or 6 years, is a real gentleman, a true professional, and an awesome person and an awesome coach.
Andy, it's like you do this TV thing as well. Great segue right there, because we have a Comac wrestler coming up in Mike Fennel. The 140-pound weight class, a 17-year-old senior, 38-1, 142 career victories. He'll take on Paul Vaeth, also a senior, 36-2. In this matchup, what do you see as the big difference between these two wrestlers?
I think obviously, Vaeth is the favorite. He won the counties last year. Fennel lost in the county finals to the eventual state champ last year, Dave Ingram of East Islip. These two kids right here, you would not meet better people anywhere. This is what keeps me involved in a sport like wrestling, because it's great to be around great kids like these two guys right here.
Well, Vaeth's moving on. He's going to be going to Columbia next year.
So, we got Jansen possibly going to Harvard. Got another Ivy League kid in Vaeth. So, obviously, these are not just, like you say, great athletes, but they're great student athletes.
I think that kids today have to work a lot harder in school. I think there's more pressure and more demands put on them to work harder, both in athletics and on the mat. I think this is going to be a great match.
Fennel will be in the red anklet. Vaeth will have the green. Fennel's got that gold or yellow and black singlet.
That's a huge takedown right there for Fennel. Huge takedown for Mike.
So Fennel goes up 2-0 early.
And like I said, both tough kids. And now I'm going to go off a little bit, guys, if I can. This is the reason they started a wild card system in New York State this year, which really stinks. It's not going to be fair to the kids on Long Island. But I think that two great wrestlers right here, two great kids that deserve to go to the state tournament, this is the kind of thing, kids like this, that will eventually change, because there will be an outcry to bring more kids to the state tournament. These two kids should both be going no matter who wins or loses this match.
But only one is going to go.
It's a possibility under a wild card system that one of them can go, but it's not a definite.
Vaeth escapes. It's 2-1 in favor of Fennel.
And, both of these kids, I think that they're both very good on their feet. And this should be another real battle of two outstanding wrestlers from outstanding programs.
And now you get into the wrestlers. These are some kids that have some strength now, too. I mean, these are some strong kids at 140.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They can move.
Look at that leg drive.
Vaeth trying to turn him around and does.
He'll pick him down.
Now Vaeth very close, getting those back points.
Wow. And Paul Vaeth, he's hard to get off his back. Most of those ISIP kids, boy, they ride tough on top. And only that great strength of Mike Fennel gets him out of that.
Yeah, Vaeth definitely wanted to roll him over onto the shoulder, but couldn't.
And how you saw that, it looked like Fennel was going to take him down, and Vaeth countered that real well and put him on his back. 5-point move. He was down 2-1. Now he's up 6-2.
33 seconds left in this first period.
And let me tell you, when you're wrestling a kid with the reputation of either one of these guys, and you get down 6-2, that's really difficult to come back. Not that Mike can't do it. It's just, and it changes the way you wrestle.
Keith Irizarry, Hal Sass, and Andy Slauson of Newsday joining us.
You got it, kid.
5 seconds left in this first period.
And Keith, you see, this is Paul was trying to put in what they call an armbar there. One of the things I think that makes ISIP such a great team, obviously, they're very well coached. Joe Pachovich, great person, great coach. Steve Airy, Rob Cuffey, who coached with him. One of the things I think that makes ISIP so tough, it's what made Sachem, Longwood, Huntington, and now East ISIP tough, is that they are tough on top, and they can ride you, and mentally and physically, that breaks you.
And you think that really comes more from the coaching staff?
Oh, absolutely. I think that a coach takes on the personality of its team in any sport, and different guys, different teams do different things. And one of the things that Joe Pachovich, I've talked to him many times over the years that I've been friends with him and his family, he says that riding on top is one of the biggest things that they can do. And it separates, a lot of times it's what separates you from winning or losing a close match.
Still a 6-2 lead for Vaeth.
And yet you see how relentless he is. He goes right after the attack.
Well, this is one of those matchups. He does understand that Fennel can turn this around very quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, you know, you're not an all New York State wrestler or a Section 11 champion without having a lot of drive to you.
Exactly.
Neither one of these kids are the kind of kids that are going to sit back and, you know, just rest on that lead.
Well, every coach that we've spoken to, they all say the same thing. You know, you've got to wrestle it out until the final whistle.
Oh, absolutely. That's why you wrestle 6 minutes, not 5 minutes and 50 seconds. You saw what happened in that 112-pound match.
Reyes.
You know, and Coach Vinny Innes, who's a great coach, was telling him there's 15 seconds left. Tell him, push him away. And, you know, Riley from Huntington hit that headlock. And here's another kid. I mean, Riley wrestled awesome. To me, he deserves to go to the state tournament, but won't. You know, Lugiani was right there. I got to mention the great Lugiani. He's coached 59.
60. He had a winner. No, actually 59. You're right.
He's coached 59.
I would not question.
No, he had the chance to the
County
60th and the 98.
Yep.
Jose Vasquez lost
2-1.
2-1. Yeah, that would have been his 60th.
36 seconds left in the second period. A 6-2 lead still for Paul Vaeth.
I think if Fennel wants to get back in this match, he's going to have to open it up a little bit more. You know, it looks like Vaeth is taking a few more of the shots.
And anytime Fennel does shoot, Vaeth counters very well.
Absolutely.
The officials blow it dead once again. The officials in this matchup.
That's John Trusello is the official. And Sean Brocking, who is the mat judge for this match. Both outstanding officials.
There's Brocking right there.
And that's a stalling warning. The first time it's a warning. And Mr. Trusello was warning Paul Vaeth.
Yeah, you get nothing but the best officials in a championship match. I mean, you have to have the best guys out there.
Absolutely. You wouldn't want anything. Hey, you're not going to pick the bad guys that go to the Super Bowl,
course.
right? Well, for me and a lot of other people, this is like the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
High school wrestling.
Just 2 minutes away from a victory for Paul Vaeth. Up by 4 points.
It's a long 2 minutes.
Escapes. Looked like Fennel kind of gave that away. Didn't want to waste that energy. Now there's an injury timeout.
Oh, Vaeth came up real.
Take a look. Let's see if we can look at the footwork and where the injury might have taken place.
Didn't see anything there.
You know what? It was kind of like his right foot planted, and it looked like his ankle. Watch again. Watch the right leg
foot planted
as
on
he
the
goes
heel.
to plant.
Yep. Right there, Hal.
We're back to live TV now, 7-2 in favor of Vaeth.
And now Mike Fennel get a little more aggressive. Oh, that's a great reshot by Vaeth.
But if you're Fennel here, you know your opponent, he's a little bit weak right now. He's got that injury.
And now Fennel looks like he hurt his knee.
Fennel I don't know if that was anger or if he hurt himself. It does look like that right knee might be injured.
I don't think that it was out of anger. I think that that's just, you know, he's in a lot of pain.
Take a look at his knee.
What's the angle? Yeah, see how his knee
slams down.
It's bent over right there.
Bent at that weird angle.
And obviously he's not letting go of it, but look at the angle right there of that knee. Ow.
And, you know, you have to point out, Paul Vaeth is doing nothing wrong there. They stopped the match to be potentially dangerous. And Fennel shakes it off.
Well, now Vaeth got a little bit of a timeout there. Could let his ankle feel a little bit better. Now, on the other end, Fennel, let's see how that injury affects him.
Hey, if you're Vaeth, you don't want any timeouts. You just want it to keep going. And, you got 1:16 left. You're up by a 5-point lead right now.
Just can't make a mistake right now if you're Vaeth.
Hey, you can get taken down. You can't get taken down to your back.
Exactly.
I think the good thing here, though, both wrestlers, even though with those injuries, both walked out on the mat. They look like they're back to pretty much 100%, so that's good news.
Hey, they're tough guys, making it to the Suffolk County Finals. You got to be tough. They're not going to back down for something like that.
Vaeth swung Fennel, basically kind of like an Olay move.
Right.
Under 1 minute left in this third period.
And that's another stalling call. And so it's 7-3.
They gave him the point on the stall.
Yep.
So Fennel now trails by 4.
The first time is a warning. The second and third time are both a point. The fourth time would be 2 points. You're not going to see that. And the fifth time is DQ. But that's a nice counter right there by Vaeth.
And Vaeth will pick up 2 more.
Yep.
And now Fennell's got to really go for everything in one shot in the final 34 seconds.
That's going to be hard because there's no such thing as a 6-point move, so he pretty much have to pin him to beat him.
Vaeth takes a look up at the scoreboard, realizes what the score is here. Probably try to ride him out here as long as he can. And then if he has to let him loose, make it under 10 seconds.
Can let him loose. You just have to block and circle and not give up the big move.
9-3 still. Vaeth leads. 15 seconds left in the third period.
Vaeth using that right hand on the wrist of Fennell, that right wrist, not allowing Fennell to use any leverage. Lets him up for the escape, 1.94 now.
And that will be it, a 9-4 victory for Paul Vaeth.
Hey, and that's Joe Pachovich's 19th county champion in 11 years as the head coach at Islip.
Pretty much the way you expected?
Pretty much. Both outstanding kids.
So a congratulations goes out to Paul Vaeth, the 140-pound weight class victor. And we will bid a fond farewell to you, Andy Slauson, right now. We appreciate all your help. You know, Andy gives us a lot of information.